currently it seems like we what is it called? We reward people, right, for doing good work when it comes to
Right.
like tangible things. Like we work with software, so building good software, building good products, being very technically savvy. Um, are we inside of our teams and organizations creating space or creating reward systems for people who maybe aren't as technically savvy, but there's a person who's always good about making sure they're scheduling team outings or team meetings. They're really good about following up, and they don't, maybe not, they're not the best with code, but they're really good at knowing, oh, this person has a personal engagement at this time, this person really likes this thing, let's play this game because I know that people like this thing. Like that person who maybe when it comes to the technical things isn't as strong, but when it comes to team dynamics, and bringing people together, that's like their strong suit, right? They're always in the know, and they're always kind of pushing to not just organize things for the team, but also like collect that information. Because I know, like when you guys were talking just now and talking about the lift of the scheduling and the reviews, like a lot of that stuff can be taxing. I wonder if we created reward systems that centered more around people that do people work, would that work seem as heavy to them, right? If it's something that they're maybe more
Yeah.
naturally to do.
Yeah. Tim just wrote the glue person. I think before any of that can happen, people have to know how to talk to each other. They can't be silent. So I think that in order for that to happen, actually, so I want to go back to, so John Kern had asked a question, how do you help people recognize what level of safety they are experiencing in the moment? There's a book by Timothy Clark called The 4 Stages of Psychological Safety, where he touches on this. So inclusion safety, learner, I think contributor, and challenger. So the more comfortable you are, the more you're going to be able to kind of work with what you have, right? So I think that to be able to put those things in place, to reward folks for things, I, as someone who is in a position of power, would want to see us actively having conversations. Yes, individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Exactly. So I think that it's really important for folks to, before, I think there can be reward for things like communication too, but it's, how do we want to show up together? Do we have a working agreement where we share an understanding? So if there is a glue person, is that written somewhere so that we know that? Because that goes back to what Josh said about the expectations piece. If we don't have clear expectations as people who are in positions of power, how can we go back and say that? So everything kind of, in my mind, kind of ties together. And then once we have, and it doesn't have to look perfect, once we have shared understanding and expectations of one another, then we can start talking about like, what are some rewards that we can have?